First thing you want to do is talk about things that are behind you. That is the seatbelt. Grab the seatbelt, pull out the fabric, look at the fabric. It's not ripped, torn, or frayed. It's not knotted. It's in good condition and it's properly mounted and it's secure. It clicks into the handle, unclicks, and clicks again, and pull it taut. It's held in place with 3 points of contact, one up here on the wall to my left, one down here on the floor to my right, one down there to my floor to my left. This is not a point of contact. The point of contact has to be attached to the frame of the vehicle. So we got one here, one there on the floor, and up here on the wall. All right, then you raise your head up. First thing you want to talk about is your mirrors. You got 6 mirrors, 2, 4, 6. My 6 mirrors are properly mounted and secured. They're not cracked, bent, or broken. All my nuts and bolts are present and tight. The mirror glass itself is clean. There are no chips, dings, or cracks, no stickers, and they're adjusted to me as I'm sitting in the driver's seat. Come forward, talk about your windshield. My windshield is properly mounted and secured. It's not chipped, dinged, cracked. It's clean. There are no illegal stickers or obstruction of view. An obstruction of view can be anything that blocks your vision from any part of the hood. Next, you want to go down and talk about your windshield wiper arms. The windshield wiper arms are properly mounted and secured. They're not cracked, bent, or broken. All my nuts, bolts, and pins are present and tight, and they're in good condition. The arms have blades. The blades are made out of soft rubber, so they're properly mounted and secured. There's no abrasions, bruises, cuts, or dry rot. They're in good condition, and they're flush up against the windshield. That brings us inside the cab. Go to the floor, work your way up. Press the clutch to the floor. Turn the key one time to the right. ABS light comes on, and the ABS light on the back of the trailer comes on and goes off within 90 seconds. Okay? After that point, we want to do a safe start. Make sure you're in neutral. Make sure your buttons are pulled out. Crank up the engine. Double check to make sure you are still in neutral. Come off the clutch. Raise your hand from the key up to the headlight switch, turning your headlights completely on to the right. When you do that, your low beams come on and your markers and your clearance lights come on. So your low beams are already on, so raise the lever up, check your high beam, do your left turn, right turn, 4 ways. Right next to the 4 ways, you have your dimmer switch for the back of the gauges. Press it up, press it down, okay? We're good there. Go back to the turn signal, press it in toward the column. Your windshield wipers work and squirt, okay? While you're here, go ahead and knock out your horn, city horn, highway horn. Okay, then you want to come up here and you want to go up 1 level. We went from the floor up to this level. Now we're going up to this level here. Let's talk about our gauges. Our water temperature should be from 180 to 190. Oil pressure should be going from 30 to 60, but can be idling as low as 20. Behind this screen here is where you're going to find your voltmeter. If you do not have it, like this right here, you cannot see it. This button right here, this is push mode. Press it. Keep pressing it until you come across your voltage. It says 14 volts. You want to tell the Tesla you should have between 12 and 15 volts. Come over here to your primary and your secondary air tanks. You must call these tanks by the proper name. The top tank has a P on it. The bottom has an S on it, primary and secondary. They should be going up to the normal range of 120 to 140 PSI, okay? Make sure that you've done everything in this section before you move over to this section. Stop and review. You did your fire extinguisher, you did the triangles, you did the fuses. You got 3 points of contact in the vehicle. You did the seat belt, the fabric, the 3 points of connections, the latch, unlatched latch. You raised your head up, you did the 6 mirrors, you did the windshield, the wiper arms, the wiper blades. You came inside, went from the ground up. You did the safe start, ABS light on the dash and on the trailer. Okay, you cranked up the engine. You turned on your headlights. You did the low beam, high beam, left turn, right turn, 4 ways. You did your dimmer switch. You did the working squirt with the windshield wipers. You did the city horn. You did the air horn. And you came up here and you did all the gauges. So everything's done on this side. We need to move over to here. Take this dial, move it over to this icon right there. Turn the fan all the way up. Your temperature should be all the way to one side. Wait till you hear the sound of the fan. One hand up, one hand down. See if you're checking for air to be blowing. Move it over to the hot side. One hand up, one hand down. Put it back where you want it. Okay, we did everything that we're supposed to do. Now we need to be doing our tug test. We want to tug the trailer first. Make sure the red button is out, push in the yellow button. We're releasing the brakes on the tractor, but we're leaving the brakes on the trailer engaged. Clutch to the floor, find a spring in the gear shift, take it back to third gear. Ease off the clutch slowly, give it a little tug. Now we want to pull out the yellow button, push in the red button. Now we've released the brakes on the trailer and we pulled the brakes on the tractor out, which we're checking the tractor brakes. A little tug. We're good to go. Now we want to press both of them in. We're still in third gear. We want to roll forward 5 miles an hour. We do not want to be touching the steering wheel during this process. Roll forward 5 miles an hour. Press in the clutch, apply the foot brake. You're looking for the steering wheel to turn either hard left or hard right. If it turns hard left or right, or even if it doesn't, tell the tester that if it did go left or right, it could be anything from a low tire, steering problem with the linkage, brake problem with the shoe lining, it could be a low tire or improper load shift. Any one of those will work fine. Okay, at this point, roll down your window to your left. You want to be listening for the air compressor cut-in valve. It cuts in and stops the production of air. When the tanks get full, it will cut in. Take your foot off the foot brake, you're still in gear. Rev up your engine. Listen for the sound of the cutout. There it goes. That's a cutout. Notice it cut out about 140. It should be between 140 and 150 on the cutout. Okay. At this time, we want to leave the buttons in. Leave it in gear. Turn off the engine. Come off the clutch. Keep your hand on the key. Turn it back to one time to your right to activate your gauges. When the gauge is stabilized, you want to take your right foot, put it on the foot brake, and you want to hold it for 60 seconds. In 60 seconds, we're looking to lose no more than 4 pounds of PSI in 60 seconds. On test day, you cannot use a smartwatch. You cannot use a cell phone. You cannot use a tablet. You either have to have a watch with a second-hand sweep, a digital watch with a stopwatch function, or a stopwatch itself. You cannot ask the tester to time it for you. He will not time it for you. It's against the law. After 1 minute and you've not lost more than 4 pounds of PSI, take your foot off of the foot brake, and then you're going to tell the tester that you're going to do your leaks, lights, and alarm test. We're going to pump the brakes until they go down on the gauge between 65 and 60 PSI. We're looking to have 2 lights come on here. We have 2 air tanks, so we need 2 lights. There's one. There's 2. 2 lights, 2 tanks, between 65 and 60 PSI. Now we're going to keep fanning down between 20 and 45 PSI, and we're watching our buttons pop out. We cannot touch the buttons. We have to watch. We lean over and we watch them. Keep pumping. Here we go. Okay, now we barely heard anything come out. Okay, so what we want to be looking for is these notches right here. You see these notches? Okay, these will tell you that the buttons have popped out. Some trucks do not make a loud noise when they pop out. Some do. So we want to look for the notches. We cannot touch the buttons until they pop out. Okay, once they pop out, put the clutch back to the floor. Put the truck back in neutral. Then we check the buttons to make sure they're actually out. Those didn't come out quite good enough. Make sure they're actually out. Then we do a safe start. Make sure we're in neutral and come off the clutch. Now, while we're building pressure, this is when you ask the tester he'll be sitting in this seat to your right. You want to ask him to go out and check your lights, your outside lights. We've already checked the gauges to make sure they work and the indicators. The tester will go outside. He'll stand in front of the vehicle. You're going to do your left turn, right turn, high beams and low beams, and four ways. He's going to be looking for all that stuff. He's going to be checking your clearance lights and your marker lights as he walks by. He's going to go back to the back of the tractor, check the left turn, the right turn, the four ways, and the foot brake. Then he's going to go back to the back of the trailer, same thing, left turn, right turn, four ways, and foot brake. And then that's the end of the end cap.